Yo, what's up, everybody? Kevin here. Welcome to the weekly Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. We'll be on here for the next hour or so to answer all your snowboard questions. Today, I'm in Niseko, Japan, and we've been having a great trip out here, just getting lots of powder days, riding in a bunch of different mountains, and really having a good time. We've had a whole crew out here with us too. We got TJ from Board Archives out here. He's going to come on the live chat in a little while. David Jones is here. Andreas Schubert. We got Chris Ayers and the whole crew. So some of those guys are going to come on in the next little bit to talk to you guys as well. And we've also got some fans of the channel that have, or friends of the channel that have come out for the trip as well. So we've got El Stacker, shout out to El Stacker. We got Chuck Van out here, Jose Bortista. So really awesome to be able to ride with some of those guys as well. Also Hamish, who's a local here in Niseko, who's been riding with us a few days. So really stoked to talk to you guys on here for the next hour or so. If you have any questions about Japan, any questions about just snowboarding in general, whether it's beginner snowboard questions, snowboard trick questions, progression, snowboard gear, anything, definitely hit me up. And yeah, really stoked to talk to you guys for the next hour or so. And I hope you guys have been getting some good snow and some good snowboarding in where you are as well. So let's get into it. Just a reminder too, if you want to support the channel, the super chat is an awesome that. So you guys are the sponsors of Snowboard Pro Camp, so really appreciate any super chats that you guys help out with. And let's just get into some shout outs here. Thanks everyone for tuning in early. We got Board M on here, Joe Wilkin. We got Mike Hoon. We got Tryhard Daddy. Lots of people on here. Kier 1984. Lim Soup. Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Let us know too where you're watching from. It's always cool to see where everyone's tuning in from all over the world. We got In Motion SLB on here. Matthew Joseph Estrada. Awesome. What's up, guys? Morgan West from Whistler. What's up, Morgan? All right. Let's get into the first few questions here. LY just says, hi, Kevin. Hope you guys are scoring over there. Yeah, we've been super lucky. The very first day we got here, we had over 40 centimeter day, which was amazing. And then I think 3 days ago, we had another day that was like 45 plus centimeters. So the two best powder days of my season easily have been here in Japan. And the most recent one that we got was definitely in my top couple powder days of all time. So that's pretty incredible. And JR wants to know, how is the snow in Japan? So like specifically, the snow here is very light and fluffy, and it's the kind of snow when you're riding through it, it just starts blowing like over your head. It's really cool. It's just because Japan is so cold that you get that type of snow, which is really awesome. So very light, very powdery, and because of the cold, and the terrain out here is very unique too. It's not, it's very variable. You got pillows, gullies, all kinds of different stuff. So it's always changing. Kaylee says, favorite snowboard channel, made me start getting really into it this year. That's awesome to hear, Kaylee. Black says they're going to Japan in 22 days. Awesome. Hope you have a great time when you get out here. Scott Barlow wants to know, Kevin, answer me this question, please. Orca or Mind Expander for Utah powder? I'd go for the Orca. In my opinion, the Orca, the thing that makes it unique and separates it from other POW boards is the C2 camber profile. So it's got camber under your feet with rocker in between your feet, and I feel like that camber profile makes it really stable for riding at high speeds through powder, for doing, you know, smaller, medium-sized drops, and just the whole the taper and the side cut and the short length of the Orca also makes it very quick and nimble to turn. So in my opinion, I really like the Orca. That's my favorite powder board. Oh, and Morgan says that it's raining in Whistler right now. Oh no. Well, I hope it turns around, and I hope you guys get some colder weather there in Whistler. Victor says, coming to Japan for 2 weeks, tomorrow to snowboard. Do you have any tips for someone hitting the mountain solo? Yeah, solo, it's kind of tough. I would say when you're hitting the mountain solo, I think you definitely need to be a little bit more cautious because you don't have some other riders or friends looking out for you. So I would try to stay more to the inbounds areas and go where there's other people around, because if something were to happen, it's good to be able to, you know, call out for other people to come give you assistance. So yeah, do some exploring, but do it safely. Maybe if you make some friends on the chair or something, and then hook up with a crew of people if you do want to do some exploring where there's less people around. But yeah, always play it safe when you're riding solo. All right. Tim Lee says, hi from Toronto. What's up, Tim? Thanks for tuning in all the way from Toronto. I've actually met a lot of people on this trip from Canada, from Vancouver and Toronto, so that's been really cool. Trent's watching from California. Ji Hoon from Minnesota. Hot Shot from Wisconsin. Johnny from New Zealand. And yeah, Black's watching from Thailand. Brandon's watching from PA. Awesome. And Ransom watching from Alaska. Very cool. Steven wants to know, how long are you going to be in Niseko? I'm from Melbourne, Australia, hitting up Niseko in mid-February. Awesome, man. Yeah, we were here for 2 weeks. So we arrived on the 15th of January and we're leaving on the 31st. So in total of days, like possible days on hill, about 2 weeks. So yeah, out of here on the 31st. All right. Just going to get caught up a little bit here, guys, scrolling down. Thanks for all the questions. Oh, Sean wants to know, have I been shredding with Casey Willax? Yeah, we actually met up with Casey Willax a few days ago. Him and Daly were riding through the trees, and they just like stumbled upon us. So I got to do a tree lap with those guys and do some filming. They're both actually in my latest video, so go check that out, where we meet up with Casey. And yeah, those guys are absolutely shredding the powder. So had a really good time, challenging time filming them. It was just hauling, trying to keep up and film, so that was really fun. And yeah, definitely check out Casey Willax's channel as well. And yeah, those guys, we had dinner with them last night, so we had a big crew out for dinner with some of the YouTube friends, El Stacker and Jose Bortisa and Chuck Van and all those guys. And yeah, so we all got to have a big dinner together, so that was super fun. And Kara asks, are you guys hiking the volcano again on this trip? I'm not sure. So you can kind of see it, but the volcano is actually in the distance. There it is, a little bit there, right there. So that's Mount Yote. And yeah, on the second day, hiked to the very top, got to look inside the crater. It was all filled with powder. And it was such a hard hike, and my legs were so sore after that. I'm not sure if we're going to do it again. We might, but at this point, there's no plans to hike the volcano again. But it was a pretty incredible journey. I think it was 5 hours to get to the top. So it was a trek. All right, first super chat from Jess LV. Awesome, thanks Jess for the support. Says, I never miss any of your live Q&As. Here's a question, what do you think about plus 21 and plus 6 stance? I'm still trying to improve my turns. I think that stance is a little bit too directional. I think if you were like a race snowboarder with like hard boots, that's a stance to go for. But think about it like this: like if you were gonna squat down and pick something up off the floor, would you do it with your feet at that stance? So plus 6 and plus 21. You'd probably have them a bit more even and a bit more just ducked out at a comfortable rate. So plus 21, I think that's too much for your front foot, just because it's not a comfortable way to bend your knees. So, but then again, like everyone's a little bit different, but I would say try to play around with a negative back foot stance. So like maybe negative like 9 to start off with, and maybe bring that plus 21 down to like plus 18, and just to see how that feels, because you want to have that maneuverability that you can bend your knees, be comfortable. And doing it in real life, you're probably not going to do it at those angles. So try to bring it back to like a real life, foot stance. So give that a try. But yeah, thanks for the support. And Jose Bautista is on here. What's up, man? Fun. Hope you had fun at karaoke last night. Futuristic B says, any tips for riding rails? I would say the biggest tip for riding rails is first, like, get really good at riding boxes, get a bunch of box tricks down, and even hitting some down boxes, so challenging yourself on that. And then once you got that kind of locked in, then find the easiest rail you can. And a good way to try your first few rails is to just actually skip over the rail. So kind of ollie like you're going to come onto it, and then, maybe get on the board to the rail for a second before just coming off. So that first time you have that exit strategy, and then after you kind of get comfortable with that a few times, then you can start riding the rail all the way to the end. But yeah, find the easiest rail you can, get really good at boxes first, and then just start off slow on the rails. And A Vlogs with the super chat says, hi, your videos inspire me to go out and ride. Awesome, A Vlogs. Yeah, appreciate the support, and I hope you're having a good time out there snowboarding. Coop Dog says, I just arrived in Whistler and realized you're in Japan. Yeah, sorry about that. This Japan trip has been going down the last 3 years, and I'll be back in Whistler soon. I'll be back in Whistler on February 1st. And all right, so Sebastian says, hi from Argentina. I've improved my riding thanks to you. Awesome, Sebastian. Well, thank you for watching the videos, man. I appreciate it. All right, I think we got Andreas, you coming in now, or are you just sipping on your coffee, man?
I was just seeing if you were ready for me to come and say.
All right, yeah, come on this side, dude. So guys, Andreas is here too. So Andreas, he's been Andreas' first time to Japan.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so before we get into some questions, Andreas, just tell the people, how's the trip been going? How was yesterday?
Dude, this trip has been an all-out dream, man.
Nice.
What a fantastic time it's been.
Yeah.
I think we've probably said this before, but like the forecast was kind of dismal coming out here, and then the second that we got out here, it just started dumping snow. We had like 30 centimeters the first night, and then the snow has been consistent ever since. So yeah, and we've had such a good time.
And this is like, yesterday we went to a place called Rizutsu, and I feel like that's kind of right up Andreas's alley, just tree runs every run. So how was yesterday?
Yeah, man, I feel like Rizutsu was built for me. You know, there's a tree run in between every set of lifts. So like if there's a gondola on one side and then a chairlift on the other, you're guaranteed like a wicked tree line in between the two, which is exactly the kind of riding that I like. And what was bonus about it was there was very little hiking. It was just sort of like tree line after tree line, and then you get to the bottom and there's easy access.
Yeah, if you guys are a fan of trees, Japan, Niseko is a spot for sure. All right, so let's get into some questions. If you guys have any specific questions for Andreas, hit us up as well. A few super chats to get to. Board M with the 10-pound super chat. Thanks for the support. Says for the big bird. Thank you. Yeah, I got the yellow jacket, yellow pants. Andreas, if you're gonna go for an all-one color suit, what would it be?
Ooh, man, you've gone yellow. David's gone red. I think I'd want to go blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good choice.
Blue bomber, kind of like Mega Man. Remember Mega Man?
Oh yeah, Mega Man. That'd be a sick outfit. And Justin Visey with the super chat. Thanks, Justin. One of the OGs on here. Says, hashtag ramen fund. Wish I could have been out there with y'all. One of my really good friends just got married past weekends, so just didn't work out. Give Yannick, Narav, TJ, and Chris my best. Hope to shred with you guys soon. Awesome, Justin. Yeah, hope you have a great time at that wedding. Tell your friend congratulations. And Justin, man, maybe we'll see you on one of these trips soon, man.
Woo!
James Mackey with the super chat from Australia says, do you need to have a beacon to go out the gates? Heading to the airport soon, Niseko bound. I feel like that is, sometimes you do, and I would say to be safe, you should always have a beacon.
Yeah, guys, it's a good idea to have one just in case. You never know what kind of situation you're going to end up in out there.
Yeah, definitely. So it's always better to err on the side of caution. So we all brought our beacons out here, except for me. I've been renting a beacon, but you can always, so that's a good call. So you can, if you do arrive and you don't have one, your options are to buy a beacon, or you can also rent. And yeah, renting is pretty modest. And then you get you can get a shovel and a probe as well. And when you're out with the beacon too, make sure that your friends have all that gear as well, because if your friends don't have it, then it's kind of useless.
And make sure you take the time to familiarize yourself with the beacon. You know, the last thing you want to do is be in an emergency situation and not know how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's avalanche safety courses that are running like every week in most places. So that's a great one to do. And yeah, practice ahead of time. You can even just practice in the parking lot in a big snowy area, just hide in one beacon and then getting everyone to go find it. All right, so Jonathan Nichols with the super chat from Canada says, what is the best part about taking a snowboard trip with friends?
The bonding, the time that you spend together.
Yeah, what's the best part? I feel like, yeah, it's kind of like the stories that you talk about afterwards. And like for us, like after every run, well, a lot of the runs we've done have had a hike either at the end or at the beginning of the next run. And that's when we talk about the stories of the last run, stuff we found. And that's been my part, just like all the story sharing afterwards.
Yeah, man, I think for me it's like there's a lot of camaraderie, especially when you're filming your friends. So, you know, like if I'm filming Chris or if Chris is filming me or vice versa with you know, Kevin and TJ, you're like trying so hard to get the shot for your friend. You know what I mean? It's almost like this selfless act where you care so much about getting the footage for your buddy,
yeah,
that you're like willing to almost fly into a tree because you're trying to get that shot. So yeah, it feels really good when your friend gets wicked footage of you, or when you get wicked footage of your friend. You know, feels really good to help each other out.
Yeah, help each other. Super fun. Sean, with a great question. Any tips for riding through trees? I try to keep up with my friends that I ski, but I keep running into trees. So I would say the first tip is plan your line. So looking ahead, looking between the trees and finding that line that you need.
Yeah, you tend to go wherever you look. So if you end up focusing on the tree, you will run into the tree. So try to focus on the areas in between.
What are you doing with your feet and your board?
Well, you're trying to lean back, I would say, to you know, keep your tips up.
Yeah.
And that way you're also going to splay out some of your speed. And yeah, I do a lot of speed checks, sloughing out speed when I'm in the trees so that I'm not running into them full speed.
Yeah, getting onto that back foot a little bit, and like in the deep snow for sure, and then lots of turns. Those like quick back and forth, like yeah, sloughing it around, just pushing around the snow with your back foot. That's gonna control your speed and really help you to go where you want to go. When the snow's a bit firmer, like when there's not that like a lot of powder, you do have to get a little bit more forward to get that back foot turning quickly. But yeah, fast turns and looking in between, I think.
Yeah, and just take your time with it as well. I always encourage people, if you're doing tight trees, just start off really slow. You kind of have to build up to those faster speeds that you see, you know, guys like us doing. When I first started tree riding, I was like grappling from tree to tree, just taking it super easy, getting my balance.
Yeah. And it's crazy because different mountains have different types of trees too. Like here in Japan, it's crazy. I feel like they have a bit of everything. So like steep trees, mellow trees, like really spaced out trees, and also very tight ones. So that's something to keep in mind. Try to find like the more mellow style trees to start out with. Yeah. All right. Yeah, great question. All right, so Matthew says, when I ride powder, I can't get momentum. What do I do? Also, how do I turn in powder? So hard to turn in lots of powder.
Well, you might need a powder-specific board.
Yeah.
Or just a bigger board in general that has more surface area to distribute your weight. If you're riding a board that's too short, then yeah, it's hard to plane out of the snow and it's hard to carry any speed.
POW boards help for sure, like for a couple of reasons. One, the nose is larger, so making it easier to float. And then the tail is smaller. And with like a small tail, you can really get the back of your board around quicker for those turns. But yeah, with speed and stuff and powder, that's just something I think you work your way up to. So, you know, go off into the powder a little bit, practice riding it with speed, and then as you get more confident with riding with speed and powder, then you can start venturing further into that deep stuff. Yeah.
There's also that like pumping technique, you'll see us do it consistently when we're in a more shallow area where you really try to like pump up and down, and that keeps the pressure and the momentum going underfoot.
Yeah, pumping that back foot. Yeah, working up the speed. All those things will get you there. All right.
El Stacker.
El Stacker's on here. It says, smash the like button. Awesome, El Stacker. Thanks so much, man. We actually got to have dinner with El Stacker last night. Some of these guys went for karaoke. So, yeah. And I got to do a lap with El Stacker. It's freaking legendary. So, big shout out to him for being one of the OGs on here on the channel. And Erica has a board question for Andreas. Do you know the Solomon Lotus?
Yeah, I believe that I think that's the binding. The Lotus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one of their more basic ones. I really like the hologram. I'm super stoked on the hologram binding by them.
Definitely. Justin Visey with a super chat says, in addition to the beacon, if you're a backcountry rider, some jackets do come with Reco. Might be worth the investment. Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure this jacket has Reco on it. I'm sure it does.
Rico, like Recon.
Rico.
Yeah.
Recon. Okay, nice. Yeah, good to know, Justin. Appreciate the support, man, and really good advice there. All right. Alexandra says, I can't believe I found myself in this live room. I'm heading to Niseko from Shanghai tomorrow morning and decided to check out your channel.
And boom!
And boom! Worked out. Awesome. Yeah, well, I hope you have a great time. I hope it continues to snow. We're getting a little bit of snow at the moment. All right. Best Ender Dragon, best beginner board. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into a beginner board. I would say like the first is starting with the price. Find like a low priced board, because some of the more expensive boards have all kinds of fancy tech that you probably won't use as a beginner or intermediate. So start at a low price. What do you recommend? What's one thing you recommend for beginners?
I recommend a board that's a little bit shorter. You'll hear these sort of mentalities of like, how big should I buy a board? Should I get it at my chin? Should I get it at my eyebrow? Go a little bit shorter for your first board. It'll be easier to maneuver and easier to turn. And then try to get something that's also a little bit softer flexing, you know? So softer flexing boards are more compliant.
Yeah, and also a board that has rocker towards the tips, towards the nose and tail. That bit of rocker makes the board more catch-free. So when you're getting those first turns, going from heels to toes and toes to heels, you're not going to be catching your tail as much because of the rocker. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit confusing to like explain when you're just learning all these snowboard terms, but yeah, just look up rocker, and those basics will help you out.
I really like the skate banana. It's not necessarily a price point that's for a beginner level board, but it's really easy to get that board and sort of get anybody on it, and they'll be progressing quickly. So definitely.
Chuck Van with the super chat. Shout out Chuck. We had dinner with Chuck last night as well. Hashtag Mr. Komor to Japan fund. Awesome. Nice.
There is no Mr. Komor.
Andreas is changing his name from Mr. Komor to Mr. Internet. Nice. But yeah, thanks, Chuck, man. Hope you had a good time last night. It was awesome hanging out with all you guys, and we'll see you guys on the mountain soon.
Yeah.
And El Stacker, are you guys going to do night riding? So here in Japan, they have night riding. I think some of us might do some night riding tonight. So
yeah, I was thinking about doing it tonight if I can corral the boys.
Yeah, We'll see how that goes. All right. Luca, tips for calming down while going down mountain and not speeding up too much. Better carves to control speed. I feel like when you're trying to control your speed, carving isn't always the best, because carving is more of like an advanced kind of technique, and you can pick up a lot of speed carving. But just taking your time. I think the biggest one is making sure that you're doing even heel and toe, like using your heels and toes to slow yourself down. And a lot of people, they'll slow themselves down a lot in their heels and kind of forget about their toes. So focus on doing both and taking your time. And I think that'll calm you down, get you into that rhythm, and that should be good.
Yeah, make some bigger, longer, drawn out turns, slough out some of that speed by maybe instead of going down the mountain, go sideways a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that way you'll slough out some of that extra speed.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Big, long S turns.
Yeah, more across, less down. Yeah. Adam Searles says, "Sup, legends."
Sup,
Hey,
Adam? What's going on, man?
What's up, Adam? It's awesome to have you in Whistler, man. Hope you're having a good time back home.
Love you, buddy.
Jonathan Nichols with the super chat from Canada says, "Andreas, how do you feel about the cold brew from LibTech? Is it good for powder days?"
Yeah, it's a wicked board for doing a little bit of everything. TJ actually used it, I think 3 days ago on Hanazono. And because it's got that hybrid camber rocker profile, it actually does work pretty well in the powder because when you lean back on it, the whole front end pops up. Gives you really good surf.
Yeah, I feel like, and TJ was saying he had a really good time on it in the powder too, so.
Yeah, in general, guys, I love LibTech boards. I love Mervin Manufacturing, GNU, LibTech, all the same thing, but they make a wicked board.
And so Dylan Bradshaw says, "I'm taking the Capita Kazu to Niseko. What do you think?" In my opinion, I feel like the Kazu is isn't powder focused enough for me. So like I wouldn't take that board here and ride it on a deep powder day just because I think it's too camber dominant, maybe a bit too stiff and not enough taper. So like Kazu rips on it and he's like, he's a high level pro, so he makes it work. But I feel like for the average rider like myself, I would say it's not powder specific enough.
That board, it like works really well in powder, but at speed. It takes that board to be going pretty quick to get it to plane out the way that you want it to. Versus, a board like what I was riding yesterday on the Mind Expander. The Mind Expander has so much more of like a boat nose to it. It's a lot easier to just sort of cruise around in the deeper snow and have yourself stay up and out of that snow.
Yeah, definitely. Snowboard Panda with a super chat says, "Hey guys, Ashley Reeves here. Awesome. Just launched my channel, Snowboard Panda.
Nice.
Love it. Videos on switch riding coming soon. Hope y'all are having fun in Japan."
Sweet, dude. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, so everyone go check out Ashley's channel, Snowboard Panda. And I love your logo. Yeah, really cute little panda bear there. All right. Gonna definitely subscribe right after this. Very catchy too, Snowboard Panda. Who doesn't love snowboarding and pandas?
Yeah, pandas love bamboo, and there's lots of bamboo here in Japan.
Definitely. All right, so you got a subscriber, Ashley, Snowboard Panda. And James, what are your best travel tips for trying to shred new places? I would say the best travel tips. Oh, that's tough.
Oh, I got one. My best travel tip is getting one of those neck pillows for the plane.
Yeah.
It allows you to sleep and your neck can just sort of like bobble around and you're not worried about it. You can literally pass out anywhere.
Yep. Neck pillow. My travel tip. Oh man. There's so many. I feel like, make sure you bring the right converter for all your chargers.
Ooh.
So if you've got a phone, you need to charge your phone, you need to charge your batteries, all those kinds of things, having that. And then when you arrive at the airport, get a SIM card. So here in Japan, we picked up like a pocket Wi-Fi, but as soon as you get to a new country, pick up a SIM card for your phone, and that way you're not getting all those data charges. So yeah. I think that I couldn't live without that data and my phone. I'd be lost.
I've been so lucky that you guys all got the data things. What are they called again? Pocket Wi-Fi's?
Pocket Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them amongst our group. So I've just been jumping on whoever's is closest.
Yeah. Okay, so Scott says Reco is for recovering your body later. Oh, geez, that's morbid. Bombastic, what board brand do you recommend? So both my boards are made by Mervin. So I've got one LibTech board, the Orca, and my park board is the GNU Headspace. So I'd recommend GNU or LibTech.
Yeah, I mean, GNU and LibTech are probably my fave. I also really like Jones and Yes. Both Jones and Yes are both made by Nidecker. So it's a really high-end build, really good quality there. And Yes is sort of like a Whistler kind of local thing. So it's pretty cool for us to, have their core team members so close by.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Frankie says, "Hey Kevin, check out Niseko Pizza for the Dragon Pizza. It's the best pizza I've ever had."
Ooh.
Wow.
We'll have to try.
Yeah, last year we hit up Niseko Pizza at least once, maybe twice. But yeah, we'll definitely have to go check out Niseko Pizza again. Yeah, I love I think pizza's my favorite food for sure.
I think the Ninja Turtles just instilled,
Yeah.
the pizza love.
Yeah, it's all that. That's all that marketing. Scott Barlow, Kevin Andres, thoughts on now binding drive? I don't think they're canted, and so wondering what your opinion is of them. I don't think you need the canted binding footbed so much. Like, I feel like I've never really missed it. So
it's a bit of a story there. JF Pelchat, who designs the now bindings, doesn't actually believe in canting. He thinks that it's not necessarily good for your knees. But if you do want to cant them, there is a way to sort of customize the binding. You could put the soft bushings on the inside of the binding and then put the stiff bushings on the outside of the binding. And that'll actually cant them in just slightly, giving you that canted feel.
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been loving the now drive bindings regardless. I think they're great. They're comfortable.
They're my favorite.
Yeah.
I've had like 5 pairs of them over the years.
Yeah, the drive's been stiff enough for the powder. The toe caps are really comfortable. The ankle strap's super comfortable. So all that stuff.
Skate Tech technology.
And then the question of the J, Johnny says, Andreas, why do you ride with your jacket unzipped?
Aerodynamicy. It makes me feel like I'm wearing a cape, like I'm a superhero flying around in the wind.
Exactamundo. Nice. Yeah, the cape effect. It's not a jacket, it's a cape. And JMO Morgan wants to know, what time is it there? What time is it? Like 11? 11:30?
It is...
a.m.?
It's 11:51.
11:51 a.m.
And it's Friday. Whoa, it's Friday today?
And Jody Smith wants to know, is Snowboard Pro Camp sponsored by Mervin?
No.
No, not a single sponsorship. No, and no, because I can't. If companies start paying me, then I lose all my credibility with you guys. So I got to keep it honest, keep it on the straight and narrow, and just get the boards that I'm stoked on. So yeah, who knows? Maybe next year I'll have 2 boards from random company X. We'll find out.
Yeah, we should just like start painting our boards black, and then everyone would have to guess what we're riding.
Speaking of which, I do need to buy some yellow paint for my board. Custom job. All right. Ryan Crocker says, going anywhere in Canada this season? No plans yet, but I definitely want to explore more Canadian resorts. I know like Fernie is on my list. Some of those other resorts near Revelstoke. Any ones coming to you? Any goals for Canadian resorts?
Less about resorts and more about just getting a little bit more into the backcountry. I've had a few people contact me and they're like, yo, man, we should go sledding up the Sioux Valley. And the Sioux Valley is like really close to Whistler. It's in Whistler. It's maybe like 10 to 15 minutes up the highway.
Yeah.
And there's so much good terrain up there. And considering we love hiking and doing that kind of stuff so much anyway, I think that's sort of the next logical progression is getting just deeper into the backcountry here in Whistler. And
yeah. There's so much to explore in Canada, like just mountain ranges, endless resorts, like lots of backcountry. So we'll be busy.
I just said here in Whistler, even though we're totally in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here in Japan, we have lots to explore too. Jordan wants to know, what are the best snowboarding socks?
Ooh.
I don't know what the best ones are, but I've been wearing Stance socks for the last 10 years plus, so I would just say Stance.
My favorite are the Descent socks. They're a compression sock. It's like a medical grade GFX compression sock, and what that does is it keeps it's so tight, it's so taut that it encourages blood flow to that area of your foot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Fish Bing, what's the temp there? Feels like it's -5 right now, -5, -6.
I'd say like -3 maybe.
Yeah. I've got a mitten on my hand, and it's even with the mitten on, my hands are getting a little bit cold here. But Junior, Kevin, how much for the Gore-Tex Volcom suit? Ooh, so in Canadian dollars, I believe it comes out to around 1,200 Canadian for the jacket and pants.
Maybe he's asking like if you would sell him this exact one that you're wearing.
How much for it? Yeah.
Sign it and you know.
I can't sell it, man. This is my look now, the Big Bird yellow. So Yeah, but it was worth the investment. Like, it keeps you dry. It's really comfortable, fits well. Yeah, I recommend, trying on your outerwear. But for me, like, I went around Whistler Village trying on all kinds of jackets and pants. And I always come back to Volcom. Just the cut of the outerwear just really suits me. And yeah, this also got the stretch Gore-Tex. I highly recommend stretch Gore. If you can pull it off, it's just, to me, it's the most comfortable, most like, the type of material that you can move in any way, whether you're riding powder or park, and you just feel comfortable and unrestricted.
The other thing about Gore-Tex too that a lot of people don't think about is that it's windproof, and windproof is huge, especially when you're on the lift and it's blowing sideways at 50K.
Yeah,
it's nice to have something that's totally windproof so that you don't feel it.
Yeah, and it's also breathable enough too. It's got you want to stay dry, but you also want to be able to release some of that heat as well. So it is a bit breathable as well for letting some of that moisture out. All right. Alex says, Andreas, how's it been riding new mountains? So new mountains specifically, how's that experience been?
Dude, it has been absolutely phenomenal. Riding here in Japan is a completely different experience than in Whistler. Really enjoying the difference in the trees. Here the trees don't have any leaves on them, and they're thinner, and there's a lot more going on as far as like some trees are, leaning over, or bending over. There's stuff to dip and dive under. Yeah, really, really enjoying it. And the snow quality here is completely different as well. In Whistler, the snow is way more like mid-range wet. So there's some moisture to the snow so that it has more dampening. Versus here, it's like blower powder. So every turn you make, snow flies up in your face.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more displacement of the snow.
There's new challenges here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you should tell them about the other day. What happened to you?
Oh, I hit a tree pretty bad. Yeah, guys, I was riding along, minding my own business, and a tree just jumped right out in front of me.
Yeah.
And I hit my IT band pretty hard. I think if it had been any lower, I might have broken my knee. But all things considered, I came out of it pretty clean. Don't even have a bruise, so it's still a little bit sore, but I've been using some of that Voltaren cream on it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just been numbing the pain, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, the clip of that will be coming to Andreas's channel soon. So yeah, check out Andreas over at Andreas Schubert.
I think my favorite part is the oof.
Yeah. Some great sound effects after he hits the tree for sure.
It's totally like Peter from Family Guy. Ah.
Yeah. Bo Thomas with the $10 Australian super chat says, dudes, so good to chat from Australia. I'll be in Niseko next week, then Hakuba after. I have a Rome POW Division pintail and a Solomon Sight 166 wide. Now do you think I bring both boards or just the Rome?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd bring whichever one's your favorite, man.
Yeah, and like with traveling too, it's like as long as you're underweight, bring both. Yeah. It's kind of fun to try out different boards. You can also demo boards here if you're interested in that. But yeah, both those seem like good choices. It would be fun, like that Solomon 166, maybe on some of those days where you're not going through the tight trees, maybe like if you're in an area where you're just getting some long drawn out turns, but then the Rome POW Division maybe with the pintail.
Sounds like that's what you want for the trees, bro.
Yeah, so bring them both. As long as you're underweight, just bring them both. But yeah, I would probably, if I was just going to bring one, I'd bring the Rome POW Division probably. Yeah. All right. Kaz, you guys having a rest day? Just joined the chat. Yeah, we're having a rest day today. We've been going pretty hard. Like even after Andreas smacked that tree, still went up the next day.
Oh yeah, man. We've been going every day. Like we had another rest day a couple days back, but even that day we went like urban riding through the streets.
Yeah.
So every day I've been on the snowboard. I think tonight we're still going to try to get out and do some night riding, so it won't be a full day off. But yeah, during the middle of the day, just nice to rest up the legs, work on a little bit of editing, go through some of the footage because there's been so much awesome footage.
Yeah.
And do do stuff like this, talk to you guys.
Yeah, when you're up there too, it's like you're just trying to like get it so hard. So we've been hiking, like going after the laps, riding the powder. I feel like powder days are just like triple the workload of just like a groomer day or even a park day. Like park days on a good park day, you're just cruising, having fun, doing those laps. But on a pow day, you got to work for it, especially if you get stuck in some of this deep stuff.
Yeah,
like digging yourself out, taking your board off sometimes,
hiking.
It's a workload. Charles Smith with the super chat says, I'm 5'8" tall and ride a 156 outer space living. Looking at getting a Capita Slush Slasher 151 for powder. Should I go smaller? Okay,
no, not necessarily.
8 inches tall. Okay, how much do you weigh? But if you're 5'8", I'm gonna guess you could be around 150 pounds. Slush Slasher 151. I think it depends on your level a little bit. So a 151, that's maybe a good size if you're an intermediate and if you want to ride trees, kind of just like cruise through the powder. If you really want to charge and like hit some big drops and things like that in the powder, then I would maybe go a little bit larger. But between 151, I think that's good. What do you think?
I think 151 is probably right up the right track there. Cause I mean, at 5'8", you could be anywhere from like 150 pounds to 200 pounds, really. It's quite a range. The 151 is probably going to be good for the majority of people as long as you're sort of on the smaller side of that weight range or the shorter side of that weight range. But yeah, I mean, the Slush Slasher is a wicked board. It's very popular. The other one that I really like by Capita is the Navigator. The Navigator's pretty dope as far as like a powder board is concerned.
Nice, yeah. But yeah, Slush Slasher, super fun board. I've seen a bunch of people out in the Slush Slasher here in Japan, so I think excellent choice for like tree riding, for like, getting quick turns going down, and it's got that small cutout tail, so really fun board. All right. Thanks again for everyone with the great questions. If you guys are tuning in late, we're here in Niseko, Japan. Been riding here for a week, been having some great times. And just definitely hit us up with any questions you guys about either Japan or just snowboarding in general. If you're a beginner, intermediate, want to learn snowboard tricks, progress your riding, gear questions, definitely hit us up with anything you got. And appreciate everyone that's done super chat. Thanks for the support. And already, really appreciate that. 100 people on the stream here. That is awesome, guys. All right, let's get to the next question. Julie says, I've never been snowboarding, but watching you guys makes me want to go out there and try. Awesome, Julie. Yeah, definitely. Like, depending on where you are, like if you can hit up a local place and learn there first, and then start doing trips. But yeah, I feel like snowboarding is one of those things. It's hard not to love it once you get into it. So
yeah, guys, my tips would be if you're thinking about getting started on a snowboard, maybe go over to your local museum or something, try riding a skateboard around for a bit first, If you can ride a skateboard, then you'll get some of that basic balancing technique. I remember when I first started snowboarding, I had already sort of been skateboarding for a while, and it was an easy transition,
Yeah, skateboarding is a good sort of like practice if you don't have any snow around. It like builds all those balancing muscles, all that stuff. And then actually skateboarding is so much harder than snowboarding that when you do try to strap on a snowboard for the first time, it'll just make it that much easier for sure. Or surfing or other board sports, wakeboarding too. So, and then when you do get on your snowboard for the first time, give it like 3 days. Just get into it, progress slowly, and go at your own pace. Like once you start linking those turns, you're just addicted for sure. All right. C. Stein says, I'm about to hit the resort on Sunday. Can't wait. Awesome. Hope you have a good time. Jordan, how long are you guys staying in Japan and what's next? So we're here in Japan. I'm here till the 31st. Andreas is staying a couple of days longer in Tokyo, but what's next? I guess just back to Whistler for a few weeks at least.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot of snow there, so I feel like I'm missing out on my hometown mountain.
Yeah. Morgan and Whistler said it was raining there today, so it's we're trading it off. We're trading off some light snow for some heavy stuff. So, but hopefully when we get back to Whistler, it'll be snowing again. Ventura Life says, come to Washington. Yeah, definitely need to make the trips down to Washington soon, Mount Baker, some of those other spots. Is the Kazu Pro? Oh, we already got to that question. Kara says she loves Stance socks. Claire with the food question. How are you finding being vegan in Japan? Yeah, it's difficult, but I'm kind of used to it now. This is my third time out here, and Japan is a bit more difficult for the vegan food. But I feel like if you just got to go with it. Like I've been eating lots of just basic stuff. I've been just eating more basic, and that makes it easier on the vegan stuff for sure.
Everything in Japan is like a surprise, you know, because it's hard to read the labels.
Yeah.
You don't really know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You get these like rice triangles, and they always have stuff on the inside.
Mystery fillings.
Yeah. So like one time I got one, and it was like a pickled jam on the inside,
Ooh.
or like a pickled plum.
Yeah.
And they've got other ones that are like cod and salmon,
fish eggs and stuff. Yeah.
Fish eggs, all kinds of weird things. So
yeah.
You never really know what you're gonna get. TJ's been playing around with buying all these awesome candies, and I had like this really like weird gummy banana candy the other day.
Yeah.
I had never had anything like it in my life, but it was super tasty.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, and for me, it's like being my third time out here, I've just gone to the basics. It's just like, there's too much reading in Japanese to do, too much translating, too many guessing. So yeah, it's definitely one of the harder spots for sure for the vegan stuff. Pendo Plays says, hey legends, are you guys hitting up Australia this year? If yes, you should visit the Victorian fields like Falls Creek or Hotham. Bit smaller fields, but still a lot of fun. Falls Creek would be super fun. And Hotham, we have a friend on the channel here, Adam Bad Riders, who rides there. So we'll definitely have to make the trip out there. We'll have to get Andreas onto like a summer trip.
Yeah, man, I've never been to Oz. So
Oz, New Zealand, somewhere down south, Chile maybe. I feel like Chile is probably more up your alley.
Yeah.
Trees, powder, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that Chile trip last year looked awesome, especially the abandoned resort video. That was so cool.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Man, I'm sure you'll probably have some places to stay down there. All of us. There's so many. The Chilean people are so welcoming, so friendly. Woo, got some cold winds coming through.
I'm gonna zip up my sweater.
Sebastian, again from Argentina. Any tips on backpacks and strapping the board to it for hiking? Great question. What's your tip for strapping up your board to your bag?
Well, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Some people like the vertical carry. Other people will do the horizontal carry. The horizontal carry is definitely easier or like more accessible to most backpacks. You know, if you don't have backpacks that have a ton of different straps, you just throw the board through the arms of the actual bag.
Through the loops, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that if you do that a lot, you can kind of wear out the loops of your backpack. So it's actually better to go with a vertical carry if you can. I recommend one of the Dakine bags. I really like the Dakine Poacher bag or just the Heli Pro.
Yeah.
I usually go to at least a 24 liter. I think that's probably the perfect size for, you know, doing a little bit of everything with.
Yeah.
If you want, and if you have a little bit more money, the Jones bags are really nice as well. So the Jeremy Jones brand.
Yeah, so I've got the Dakine 24 liter Heli Pro, and it's got all the straps on it, so you can just do the vertical board carry with the straps, and you strap the bottom strap through your binding, and that really helps to lock it into place. And it's pretty mellow. Then, you know, at times I was taking off my mid-layer jacket or hoodie, and then I would just tie that to the board. And when I needed to put it back on, I would just, grab it, put it back on. But definitely check out a snowboard-specific bag like the Jeremy Jones or a Dakine Heli Pro or something like that. That's, I think, the easiest way to go. Charles Smith with the super chat says, I'm 160 pounds, been getting into the trees.
Nice.
Awesome. Is that the same guy that asked about the Capita Slush Slasher?
It might be.
Or it could be the Rome guy. But 160 pounds, 151 Slush Slasher. That sounds a bit right for sure. Because it's a wide board. So when you get boards that end up becoming wider, you can ride them shorter. All right, I'm getting some hand signals from the people inside.
Alrighty. So I think that's my cue to exit, and we'll meet up with Chris.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks, Andreas, for coming out, man. All right. Keep my hands warm. Nice.
Thanks, man. It was great being on your live chat.
Yeah.
See you later, guys. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Check out Andreas' channel because he's going to be putting up that that crash.
Yeah,
pretty
guys,
soon.
I'm gonna have the whole trip on my channel eventually. I'm just not as fast at editing as this guy here. Maybe one day, Kev. Maybe one day.
Keep it going, man.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, Andreas, for the help, man. Andreas Schubert, guys, check out his channel. 94 Tim Birkin with the super chat says, I'm going snowboarding tomorrow for the first time. I have scheduled anything I should expect being my first time. Only type of experience I have is skateboarding from a few years. Skateboarding is amazing, and I'll get Chris to help out with this question as well. Chris, man, what's up? Come on this side, dude. All right, Chris, straight into the question.
What's up, guys? Game time. Let's go.
Nice, dude. All right. Yeah, so first timers. Chris and I, we both like taught snowboarding for years. Lots of first timers. So like first day lesson
For skateboarding?
for snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
Yeah, so they've got some experience skateboarding. I'd say.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? How does the first day typically go?
Oh, it trials and tribulations, ups and downs. I think skateboarding is a huge help for sure.
Yeah.
And you just gotta believe. You gotta take it slow. You gotta work on the basics, and then when you feel comfortable with each thing, move on. Don't try to progress too fast.
Well, they're taking a lesson, so they'll probably be guided, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're gonna totally rock it.
Yeah, I feel like with that bit of a skateboard background, you'll probably, in your group, like most likely be the person that picks it up the fastest, because skateboarding is such a great sort of, starter for snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and then I feel like the way it goes, you start out first just like, strapping on one foot, walking around, learning how to stop and slide on your heels and toes, and then like attempting some of those first turns, and then maybe getting to like a chairlift or like a magic carpet or something.
Yeah, I always found too that the skateboarders and surfers that came in my lessons, they progress way faster. I remember this one kid, I'm teaching everybody else turns, and he's like, how do I 180? And I'm like, all right, I'll teach you. And he's there like, popping 180s down the beginner trail.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this kid is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Every skateboarder, like I've had kids who, or teenagers, adults who skateboard, who just like strap the board on and immediately start turning and start looking around to the other groups like, you two in a more advanced class.
Yeah. I want to keep you, but I can't. Fly free, my pretty.
Yeah. So if you find yourself, if you're like the most advanced in the group, you can always like ask like, hey, can I go into the level 2 or level group? You know?
Or just ask for different things that you can do within that lesson to progress.
Yeah. But I would advise just get out. You're gonna be too advanced.
Yeah. At lunchtime's usually a good spot too, because everybody gets for lunch, all the different groups are together, and then you can ask them, can I move on up? And normally it's all good.
Brandon Bailey says, Kev, did you know there's a professional with the same aim as you? Yeah, I did. Yeah, Kevin Pierce. He was like a Olympic halfpipe rider. He used to like snowboard the halfpipe with Shaun White back in the day, and
he was really pushing Shaun White for a year or two. They were really going toe to toe,
going back and forth. And then like so my last name Pierce, it's more commonly spelled a different way with the EI, and we both spell our name with the EA. So yeah, it's kind of a funny coincidence. I remember all my friends back in snowboard school used to kind of like not tease me, but mention it and like kind of like talk about it.
Tables have turned.
Yeah, he had an accident in the pipe and had he hit his head, and so he had to get out of snowboarding, I think, like professionally. But I think he's like back to doing well, and
he's actually, one of the really cool things is he's not snowboarding professionally anymore, but he does do a lot of work with charities to help out with people with cognitive physical disabilities.
Shout out to the other Kevin Pierce. Yeah, he's killing it as well.
Kevin Pierce is in general. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Snow Ape with the super chat says, any plans to come to Mount Baker this year? Yeah, we need to definitely do a Mount Baker. I've been talking about it for years. And Chris, I'm sure you've been thinking about it too, eh?
I'm not sure if it was Snow. I think maybe Snow Ape offered me a place on his couch, and I'm totally thinking about taking you up on that, bro.
Thank you.
Baker's looking awesome this year. They got like wicked backcountry up there, so I'd like to go and check it out. It's a gorgeous, beautiful mountain that's cascading during the Vancouver area.
It is cool. Dennis chat says, got your beanie last week. It looks sick. You and Andreas are, of course, experts snowboarding. Is there a reason why you don't ride full cambered board? I think my headspace is pretty much full camber. So yeah, my park board is more full camber. But for the powder, it's definitely easier to ride powder with a rocker, some kind of rocker hybrid board. So for powder, I definitely recommend a rocker hybrid camber. But for the park, it's kind of like, it's kind of there's no one best board, camber or rocker, because they're all so different. Like you get a really soft, flexible camber board that's off on the park, and
I rode camber, and then now I have a rocker hybrid cambered, and then Jones Storm.
Oh, it's back.
We're back. We're here.
Oh wow, look how white it is. Okay, cool. Let's go back into the corner. All right, so
sorry.
Oh, okay. It's a little bit better. Here we go. So let's see. All right, yeah, Dennis H. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, we've mostly ridden camber our whole like snowboard careers, but
it's nice to mix it up.
It's fun to mix it up. Try different.
There's so many different shapes and sizes, and it's good to get a different feel for different boards and see which one you really like to use.
Yeah, it's fun to try all the different camber profiles. Dylan Chung, where's David? He's inside working on his next video. Yeah, it's coming out soon. El Stacker says, hello everyone watching from Niseko, Japan. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, big shout out to everyone here in Niseko. Yeah, so it's so fun visiting this place. Oh yeah, so before we go on a little bit further, Chris.
Yo, yeah, what's up?
So you're a week into Japan?
Oh my God.
What are your empty your thoughts out onto us here?
Throw it out there. This has definitely been a bit of a life-changing snowboard experience coming out here and hanging out with all the crew. Not only the snow conditions, which I don't know if you guys heard, it's the worst season ever in Japan. It's only shoulder deep, it's not head deep.
Yeah.
But the snow conditions have been fantastic since we got here. But I'd say it's more so the community and like hanging out with all of you guys, but then also like everybody knows all the fans coming up and saying hi.
Yeah.
And the fact that like the fans have like different favorites, some people love Kevin, some people love David, and like just so many different people coming up, and yeah, it's just awesome meeting people snowboarding. I think that's definitely one of my favorite things.
Yeah, we've it's been awesome. Yeah, we've met so many people, like so many friends of the channel out here. Like, I feel like every time we stop for a little while, it's like when we're moving, we don't really meet anybody, and especially like
you can't hear them.
Wait. But when we stop at the bottom of a chairlift or the top of a chair, I feel like we're always meeting cool people. Like in the last video, I met this awesome dude Donovan from, I believe it was Utah, and he was out here, and super stoked to meet just people like that from all over. When we came down at the end of the day, we met like at least a dozen people from all over the world. A lot of Aussies, I think we met mostly Aussies on that day too at the bottom. So shout out to everyone we met, and a lot of people too doing their level 1 snowboard exams, which is really cool to see as well.
Yeah, yesterday we met a guy from Hawaii that was Guy Fieri's favorite restaurant on Diners, Drives In, Dives.
Yeah.
And he was a big fan. He came up to us and he gave me some Hawaiian chocolate. I was like, oh man, that's super cool.
Straight up, gifts straight away.
Yeah, and then he's like, I have a food truck in Hawaii, and I'm like, oh, you're not that dude. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Like, he's such a big fan of the channel.
Nice. And he almost broke my hand when I was giving him a handshake too.
he's not ripping pork shoulders out all day. He's ripping your arm out, no problem.
Those Hawaiian dudes are strong, I tell you. Yeah. Tim Lee with the super chat and with the sticker, #1 fan. Oh, claiming it, Tim. Nice. Awesome. From Canada.
It almost looks like a bouncing eggplant.
Yeah, it does. Or like a blue plum or a pear. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, man. And I hope you're getting some good snowboarding in where you're at in Canada, man. Robert Andrade with the $1 super chat. Thanks for the support.
Oh, Gabe. I was going to say Gabe from Whistler's out on the chat too. Big shout out to Gabe. He was trying some double backflips up in Whistler, and he landed in his own hole. And he's recovering from that. So speedy recovery to you, Gabe, and all the best. And hopefully see you guys out on the slopes ripping soon.
Yeah, Gabe, man. Yeah, I saw those double backflips. You're freaking killing it, man.
So cool.
And hope you get well soon, man. Just rest up. We'll bring you back like a little present from Japan, some Japanese candies or something. And just appreciate you hopping on here, man.
It'd be cool to bring back some snow in a jar, but It's obviously going nuts.
Whew. It is like, it's getting pretty cold. Let's go back over here out of the wind. Oh my Lord. It's getting chilly.
I got a pole in my head.
There we go.
Scoot over a little bit more. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
You kind of see Mount Yote back there. Oh yeah, you get the lean going. Oh, my toes are freezing. Boosting the Bean says, should I get bent metal bindings or union? Both good calls. I recently picked up the bent metal bindings, and the thing I think the bent metals are maybe more beginner intermediate friendly because of the high back adjustment. They have this cube on there, and it's super easy to adjust it to the proper high back setting. So that's why I really like those. They're very comfortable. But the unions are also like a great binding company as well.
Great for lots of park riders riding unions.
Yeah, so I feel like it just depends on your preference, whether you go for one style or the other. I think if you're a beginner, the cube at the back just definitely does make it easier for the beginners to adjust a high back, but yeah, both good. Just get the right softness for you. Softer bindings for park and stiffer bindings for like all mountain and powder.
You never get stuck in the cube like in that movie.
Yeah, you could do. All right. Oh my gosh, it's getting cold out here. Robert says, went snowboarding this past weekend and loved it. Just bought my own gear. Any thoughts on the interior plane project's Honolulu shapeshifter collection for my first board? Honestly, I've never rode one of those boards, so I'm not sure.
I've never heard of that board, but it sounds really cool.
It sounds like a cool board, yeah.
Shapeshifter board.
And RK Sprawled 77 says, what's up? Where are you guys streaming from? Would love to see a camera gear list video. Awesome. You guys make amazing content. Been watching for 4 years now. Oh, thanks for watching that long.
I think the interesting thing with the new GoPro 8 is you've actually been downsizing your camera setup.
Yeah, with the GoPro 8, you could just have the GoPro 8 as long as you carry 10 batteries with you. But yeah, we're using the GoPro 8 and it's awesome because it does everything. It's like, it stabilizes for you. You can just
setup.
Yeah, the mic is awesome. You can just hold it in your hand basically and film. But I got a pole. I think it's a Smartree pole, 40 inches long pole with the GoPro 8, and that's about it. Yeah.
I have memories of us on the peak of Blackcomb, and you're fiddling around with the gimbal.
Yeah.
And we're freezing our butts off, and we're like, oh man, we got to get out of here. So the GoPro, it's so easy.
Yeah.
You just set it up, you go. The stabilization is awesome. As long as you have a nice pole and lots and lots and lots of batteries.
Yeah, for sure.
And even bring a power bank in your charger, and then you can just charge on the fly. That's always a good backup.
Yeah, GoPro 8 and then a few accessories and you're good. You can get the head strap you can get for getting that POV shot, and I don't know, I think, there's not too much else. Extra batteries for sure though. So Antoine with the super chat says, Chris, seeing you and Andreas enjoying the Karua boards, do you think the Dart would be a nice addition to the collection? Keep shredding it there, guys. Awesome, Antoine. Thank you.
I think the Dart is one of the boards that we've seen out here in Japan the most. There's loads of people riding the Dart.
Yep.
And it's, beautiful looking board. You obviously have that swallowtail help you sink in the powder.
Yep.
And Andreas was saying it's his favorite Karua-shaped board for riding what he likes to ride, which is that type of technical trees, tight turns, powder, lots of changing conditions in the snow and the terrain. So super fun board for sure.
Karua Dart, there's a few guys that have it here, so I'm gonna have to try it out as well. Looks like a fun board. North Badger with a $10 New Zealand super chat says, when are Kevin and David getting yellow and red helmets? Shout out from New Zealand. Big hello to Chris. Loving the content, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I love New Zealand too. So the yellow
helmet.
I don't think I'll go for the yellow helmet.
Come on, bro.
It's like, you gotta have that contrast. You have to have the yellow with the black to make the yellow pop.
You don't want to be more than 95% yellow.
Yeah, 90% yellow is good, but good suggestion. I like that yellow helmet. Also, I don't think I could find a yellow helmet. Where am I gonna get a yellow helmet from?
I don't know. Maybe you dip it. You're like Marty McFly. It's like, are you yellow? Yep, that's me. I'm yellow.
Yeah. But great request. Awesome. I think we're gonna call it there, guys. Just over an hour on the live chat, and honestly, my toes are freezing. I think But it was big thank you guys all for tuning in.
I was tempted to jump on the balcony and do a starfish into the snow behind us, but I think there's a little bit of crust from yesterday.
There's some crust. Before I go, let's give away a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie. So if you guys want to win a beanie, all you got to do is leave a comment, and the winner, all you have to do is go to Snowboard Pro Camp on Instagram, and then I'll send me a DM telling me that was you. So
they have to leave a comment on the live chat now.
A comment, and then when you DM me the winner, your full name, full address, and I'll send you out a black Snowboard Pro Camp beanie. Get those comments in,
guys. Get those comments in quick. And throw something up there.
And if you guys want a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie, I'll put a link in the description. But let's check this out. And if you won last time, I'll probably just pick somebody else, just to kind of make it fair.
Okay.
Right. Oh my gosh, so many people.
Quick. We're sliding. If you guys don't have any comments in now, you better hurry.
I'm scrolling. So do you want to just say stop and I'll stop?
Okay. And stop.
So we got Junior Corral
with the Dragon Ball themed restaurant, please. What a great comment to land on.
Yeah.
Dude, you deserve it for that comment.
So Junior Corral Junior, and then Carreau. You won the Black Snowboard Pro Camp beanie. Thanks to everyone else for tuning in and commenting for that. If you didn't win this week, maybe next week, but you can also buy the Snowboard Pro Camp beanies in the comments. Awesome way to support the channel. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Over 200 people on the live chat. Would love to stay on here and talk to you guys for hours, but it's just getting too darn cold out here. And over 100 likes. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. Hit the bell to get notifications every time I go live or do a new video. Also subscribe over to Chris Ayers. So it's Chris and then Eyres.
Creator on the rise, baby.
What's your next video gonna be?
Oh, it's the deepest powder of my life, which, you see a lot of these video titles where it's all hyperbole and people over talking, but this is legit. This is up to my shoulder, like for 3 or 4 seconds, just flying through the powders. Yeah. Insane day.
Yeah,
so crazy.
You don't want to miss that video for sure. If there's one video to tune into for Chris, the first one, check out that one.
Check it out. Coming out in a couple hours.
In a couple hours.
It's gonna be up.
Awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Have fun with their snowboarding. Be safe. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Here from Japan.
Happy shredding.